Hey Storm fans, welcome to episode 6 of the Let's Go Storm 4 podcast. A lot's happened since we last did one. So we were only National Cup winners at that point. Now we've got the Kit King Trophy in the bag and the NBL Division 1. And this is a special episode as well because we have the Rebound King, Hakeem Sylla, on with us. Welcome, Hakeem.
Hey guys, it's a pleasure to be on the podcast. Happy to be here.
Welcome on board. I think Fraz came up with a new nickname for you, the Blockness Monster, which was quite a good one as well. Which
I would take that.
I think he's been posting that around.
I'll take that. It's been fantastic though, starting the journey at Hemel. Who could have thought? Yeah. A year ago, I wouldn't have thought I would be here, to be honest. Yeah, but it's been fun.
Yeah, we look forward to getting into that, absolutely. I thought we might start, Hakeem. I think you mentioned in when we were at Westminster that there was a story around why it's Hakeem and not Abdullah.
Yes. So yeah, you're the few rarest people that could pronounce it. It's actually Abdullah Hakeem Sylla. So everyone calls me Hakeem, even my parents, and it's actually not even my birth name. They added it afterwards. So when I was a baby, when I was really young, there was the movie from Eddie Murphy, Coming to America. I used to cry a lot. I used to cry a lot. I would cry for anything. I used to be a baby. And my parents told me this story. And then they put the movie Coming to America. I would just stop crying and I would watch the whole movie from start to end. Like, I will not sleep. I will not cry. I will not ask for anything. I will watch the movie time and time and time again. So at the time, they had like a cassette they will put on. So when that cassette disappears, when I start crying, the whole house goes bonkers because they don't know where the movie is. And then everyone was shouting. So I grew up in a household where there were many people, extended family. That's how it happens in Africa. And then they called, like they were saying, Hakeem's movie, please put Hakeem's movie on. They don't know how to call the actors. They don't know, like, the movie was coming to America. And then everyone started calling me Hakeem. And then my parents added the name Hakeem, like from Eddie Murphy in the movie. His name is Hakeem, yeah.
And do you still have to watch that to stop crying, Hakeem?
My God, I still do up until today. It's my favorite movie.
Maybe try it with a new baby if he cries. See if it runs in the family.
It doesn't work, unfortunately.
You've quickly tried everything.
Yeah, that's how the Hakeem, like, it's a little anecdote. That's how the name Hakeem came. And it stuck. My teachers at school, sometimes I would say, like, I would give a paper in with the name Abdullah. They wouldn't know who's Abdullah because everyone is referring to me as Hakeem. Yeah. But they wouldn't know. They would say, who's this guy? I'm like, it's me. That's my name. They're like, they don't know who that guy is. So yeah, that's the little story behind the name.
That's a cracking story. Great story. Awesome. So you grew up in Africa, in Guinea, right?
Yes. Yeah. So I was born there, grew up there a little bit, and then my parents moved to South Africa, actually. So I didn't completely grow up in Guinea, but I was born there, and then we moved to South Africa because my dad was like a diplomat. And then from South Africa, we moved up France, Belgium, so spent some time there. And then after my high school, I came to the UK for uni. So I came here for uni, so did my undergrad, my master's degree, and then here I am working and playing basketball.
What university did you go to, Hakeem?
Oxford Brookes.
Oh, okay.
University, yeah.
And what's your degree and your master's degree in?
I did economics and finance, and then I did mathematics and accounting as my master's degree, yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm an accountant, so I know how dry that is.
Oh my God.
Let's not bore the fans with finance talk.
I was going to say, is this going to turn into an hour of just you two talking accounts?
It's boring. Don't worry. It is boring.
We'll do a separate series of podcasts on that, Hakeem.
Absolutely. I'll be that.
You can share screens, put spreadsheets up, all sorts of stuff. I promise I'll watch it.
Tell us a little bit about how your basketball journey started, Hakeem.
Okay, so originally, that's interesting. Like my whole family were quite a bit tall. Not my parents actually, but my other siblings. We're all tall. Some of us are 6'10", so some of us are taller than me. So, but the country I'm from in Guinea, we just know football. Like football is the main sport. Everyone plays. They call it soccer in America, but we played football. And I was playing football until I was 14 years old. So football was my passion because my growth span came late, came super, super late. My other siblings were really tall, and then mine came about late. So I was just playing football. I'm a Man United fan, die hard United. So I used to play football, but I've always been into sports like basketball, swimming, tennis. So I was in multiple activities at school. And, I was watching basketball, and then slowly one of my cousins, who's actually in the States, he went so when he was coming back on holidays to my parents, he would bring the N1 mixtape, those tapes. He would bring like all-star jerseys and everything. So I got a little bit into basketball slowly. And then I used to watch it, but like I wasn't playing. So I used to find it cool for him to play and stuff. And I started playing with them, and turns out like I was good at basketball because I was going to go to a football school. Then I am at basketball. But yeah, so I got into it, and the rest is history.
Did you play in the UK then? Did you start in the UK, or did you play elsewhere in
No,
Europe?
I played before. Yeah, I played before. I played in Germany when I was there. I played in France. I played in Guinea. So yeah, I started playing, but I wasn't as good as when I came to the UK for sure. Yeah. So I had a little bit of talent and all that, but I wasn't as good. So here, I took it seriously, slowly, and then yeah.
I guess it helps with all that athletic background to be
yes,
transition a lot of that into basketball as well.
Absolutely.
So with all your travels, Hakeem, did you pick up a lot of languages?
Yes, so I speak French, which is my native one. I speak English, I speak German. So of course, because I'm Muslim, I speak Arabic, and then my mother dialect, which is my lingo, is spoken a little bit across West Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Senegal, so 5 languages. I did slowly.
I work in the language industry, so I work with a lot of linguists, but I only speak English. I've just started speaking a little French, or learning a little French.
Oh, really? So
five's pretty impressive, to be fair.
So, if you disagree with a refereeing decision on court, do you sometimes swear at them in a different language?
100%. 100%, that's guaranteed. All kind of thing I could use so that they don't hear it, I would say it. Yeah.
You'll have to teach us so we can listen out for when you do it, so we can have a laugh.
Absolutely. With the tough
How to avoid a technical, right?
Yeah, with the tough matchups coming up. Actually, one ref called me on that because I didn't know he spoke French. Huh? So I said the swear word, and then I was running back. He did. I caught that. I heard that. I was like, what? So at the end, I woke up to him, and then we had a discussion. I said, like, it was in the heat of the moment, and then, he was like, he understood. I said, don't take it personal, But yeah.
I love that he called you out on it as well. That's
brilliant. Sometimes it backfires, sometimes, because you never know who speaks what language. But yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, if you don't mind me asking, how did the German come about? Because you mentioned obviously you lived in France, Belgium, and stuff, but the German one is a bit of a.
So basically, my sister, so one of my elder sister, lives in Germany. So at the time she was pregnant, around 2010, 11, and then her husband was away. So by that time, I just finished high school and everything. So I wasn't doing anything. So I wanted to be there to help her with the baby and everything. So I went to Germany for 3 months, like 3.5 months, and I picked up the language quick. Since then, yeah, honestly, I was just playing a little bit, watching the news and everything. Now I do speak it to intermediate to business level. Like if people are communicating, I can understand and I can speak as well and write it. Yeah. So I just picked up the language. Yeah,
that's impressive for 3 months.
Yeah, it's easily the hardest language I've ever seen. Yeah, because everything changes at any time. Yeah, the grammar is crazy. Yeah.
Then they throw words together as well, kind of like make these long words, don't they?
Yes,
Sticking
correct.
words together, right?
In that sense, that's how he kind of compensate by they can make ones. You don't need a sentence to express like one word. Like you can use one word to express a whole sentence. That's true.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So from kind of dabbling with basketball, how did that then become kind of the journey from there to the NBL and playing it to the level that you're at?
Yeah, so basically, since continuing on that lane, so I got into basketball a lot when I was like 15, 16 years old. Like I would train 3 times a day. Like I had a passion for it. Any other train ground they will have, like I would go play there and stuff. And one time I did like a trial for schools in America, and I actually did get a scholarship to go play basketball in America. But this is a little bit of a downside. I wouldn't say a downside, but my family is very archaic, I would say, traditional. They're very old school and they're very academic. So for them, the only way to succeed is to go through school. Like anything else is just supplementary for them. So I had a scholarship. I was a teenager at the moment, and I wasn't even, so I wasn't at the legal age. So my legal guardian needed to approve of me going, for a preschool program and then a scholarship and everything. And my parents were like, if you do that, at some point, you're going to forget school. So I had to abandon that dream. But I was still really passionate about basketball. I said, okay, I'll go to the UK, still try. It's not big there, but I'll still be able to play. So I went to the uni, so I went to Brooks, and then I did a trial test, and then I started playing there. So we were in D4 at the moment, and that's how we're going to get to TVC. That's how when I first played TVC, Thames Valley, and then Bob saw me, that's how the recruitment started for me to get into the NBL. Yeah.
Okay, so you were playing D4 and you played against TVC?
Yes, I played against TVC. So one season, I think we were in D3 together. D4, no, we were in D4, and then we played them in the playoff finals. So that's my first encounter with Bob at TVC. So we were a uni school, but we had a crazy team that year. Like we had 2 crazy Americans. I was there. We had a really good team, a good coach. Like the system was good. So we made a run for it, and we played TVC in the finals. Like we lost to them, but I did everything I can. I went against one of the best players I've ever played against. Yeah. And then he came up on top. Turns out he was my teammate afterwards.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Who was
awesome.
that? Hakeem?
Yeah. Martel Macklemore. Have you heard of him?
No. When did he play for TVC?
So he played, actually, I found him at TVC. So he played for Guildford. He was an ex-BBL guy. He's been around for a while.
Oh, okay.
He was insane, an American guy, Martel Macklemore. A lot of people know him in NBL and BBL. Yeah, he was at Surrey last year.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Scorchers, yeah, he played at the Scorchers last year. Yeah.
And how was it when you sort of first matched up against him? Then sort of the best player you'd played against at that point in time. How did you do?
Oh, so he ended up, I think he scored 42 and I finished on 36 or 35. The game is still on YouTube. So it was like a crazy matchup where we went head to head. And then that's when Bob approached me. I was like, do you want to come play with us? I was like, okay, I'm still at school because I was doing, I think, my master's that year or my 3rd year, one of those 2. So I was still in Oxford. I said, I have to finish my degree first, and then I'll think about moving to London. Because even though Oxford and London aren't that far, but I wasn't really ready to commute to that commute. Yeah.
And then what did you do when you finished uni? Did you call them, or did they stay in touch with you while you were still?
Yeah, they stayed in touch. So Bob stayed in touch. So when I finished uni, I finished my dissertation, finished my undergrad, because I was going to stay in Oxford. That was the plan. And then the guy who was supervising my dissertation told me to move to London, that there is better opportunity job-wise. I've always been a small city type person. So I said, okay, I'm going to move to London. And then Bob and I, we stayed in touch. And he was like, yeah, come over. So we came, we grind Division 3, Division 2, Division 1. all the way to the top. So that's how I came about to TVC. Yeah.
That's interesting. And you mentioned Martel Macklemore.
Yeah.
One of the questions we often ask is who are the best players you played against and who you've played with.
Yeah.
So would you say Martel's on that list?
Oh, easily up there. Yes. So I have 4 players that, does that count international players? Because
you can be whatever you want.
Whoever
you've played against them or with
so
them.
okay, that would be a cheat code. But Georgie Genga, I played him twice at the Afrobasket. From Senegal, he plays for the San Antonio Spurs now, an NBA.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he's kind of a less guy in the NBA, but in reality, he's like, so I wouldn't count him. But there is like 4 players I would say are tough that I've played with. So 2 guys, there is a guy who's 6'11" or 6'10" on my national team. He handles the ball like a guard and he shoots like I've never seen before. He shoots like anyone I've ever seen in my life. So basically a little version of Kevin Durant. If you've seen Kevin Durant,
Wow.
Yeah.
He's just not serious. He hasn't taken basketball seriously, but he's talent-wise, he's the most talented guy I've ever seen in my life. So I played with him at the Afrobasket about a year and a half ago. Yeah, he was insane. Mo Keita is his name. So he plays now in Division 1 in France in the Pro A.
What's his name?
Mo Keita. Moquta. Yeah, Mo Keita. Insane player. So him is up there. So there is another guy who plays for Real Betis, like Spanish league, everyone knows this. So his name is Shannon Brown. It's an American who's naturalized to become Guinean. So he plays in the best league outside the NBA, which is the Spanish league. So he plays in the Division 1 there. He's another one, a point guard who can do everything, like pretty much. And then coming to the NBL, you have Martel, of course, and Taylor. Taylor Johnson is playing against or with his staff.
Yeah.
I'll put Aaron up there and maybe Malcolm Smith. Yeah, that's my list. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Malcolm Smith as well, yeah.
Yeah.
We're not really sure how good Taylor is, to be fair.
You should punch yourself in the face.
Overrated.
He's pretty good. He's good at the game of basketball.
Yeah.
Well, you say that, Hakeem, but I was looking through some stats and there was one that stood out because I knew you might mention Taylor.
Yeah.
And it was when you were both at TVC.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you signed for us, we had this big perception that you were a huge defensive player.
Yeah.
But in the 2021 season, you had the 7th most amount of points in the whole of the NBL that year. You finished 1 point behind Taylor, who was in 6th.
Really?
So you were 1 point behind Taylor, which was, So you say he's a good shooter, you are as well by that stat.
But the thing is, what makes him great is he's efficient. He rarely takes bad shot. My game is mainly layups, so efficiency, like it doesn't come close to what I'm doing because I'm always close to the basket. But he rarely takes bad shots, and he still shoots threes, mid-range, everything. So that's why if I were to analyze his game, that's why it makes him stand out of like the bunch of people I've played against. Like he doesn't take a bad shot. If he takes it, he's confident that he can make it and it's a good shot. So that was shocking that I finished behind him because, like he doesn't take bad shots. That's the difference, yeah.
I remember watching Storm at TVC a few years back, and Taylor and yourself were on the TVC team, and obviously there's that little local rivalry between TVC and Storm, as you know. And watching you guys, and we're thinking, how good would it be if one day these guys played for us? And then obviously Taylor was with us last season, and then for you to sign along, to be with him this season was like that was like Man United signing Ronaldo or something to us. It's like, where we're like, Hakeem Sylla signed to play with Taylor. That's like the best news.
Yeah, he's one of the rarest player. Usually outside of basketball, I don't speak to people that much, like in the basketball community. But him and we stayed in touch, despite him being at Hemel, me being at TVC. So there was always like, we clicked since the first day we met, you know, we got along, we were speaking like kind of the same basketball language. And then off court as well, we have kind of similar vision, you know, for what we want for ourselves. So yeah, it was just an easy click. And from there on, you know, once it was easy for me, he made it easy. It wasn't easy for me to come to Hemel, but he was one of the main reasons, among others, I joined Hemel. Yeah.
Well, you can't steal Mike Darlow's thunder, because he told us how hard he worked to get you to come. If it was all down to Taylor, he's going to be really, really disappointed.
Credit to Darlow. Darlow's been on my case for years.
Oh, really?
Yes. He's a very persistent guy. Sweet talker. You know what he's doing.
He was on our first podcast, and we were talking about player recruitment over the summer, and he spoke about how he hadn't grinded for a girl as much as he grinded to get you into Storm, you know, which apparently didn't go down too well at home for him. But that's a quote that we've not let him forget, and he would say it was worth it. You know.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. No. He did work really hard over the summer. Because like I was cut off, like he would try to contact me, work around my schedule, everything. So he's a very persistent guy, but he made it happen, like for sure. Mike was crucial in bringing me to Hemel. Yeah.
You've got to say that because the recording's on, right? So
no, but please don't show him that part. You can cut that off. You can cut that off, otherwise he will be big-headed. But the thing is, the reason why it was hard, to be honest with you guys, I've always been, even at work or in my life, I've always been like type of a loyal guy. So what TVC did for me, you know, getting away from that wasn't easy. So even though I knew I was going to be in a good basketball situation at Hemel, it felt like a betrayal to me, even though it was going to be beneficial for me to go somewhere else, a new challenge, you know, a new drive, a new environment, opportunity to learn new stuff, which I strive on every single day. But my ties to TVC, my relationship with Bob, you know, all the guys there, I was like, this is home for me. Like when I moved to London, this was kind of the family to me. So leaving that behind, moving somewhere else, that was the hardest part, because I felt like I was betrayed, which it wasn't a betrayal. I was like, I'm leaving them now. But I had to look for something else, a new challenge, or something to drive me more, you know.
Yeah. How much of a pull was it that Taylor was already there? And did you know Charles and Bernard were going to move over at the same time? Or
No, I did not know, because I was planning on starting the season with Bernard and Charles there. You know, those are familiar faces, but I was planning on starting the season. I didn't know they were coming to Hemel, so it was like just the cherry on top of the cake when I heard that those guys were coming too. But the fact that Taylor was there already was, yeah. And me and Drew also spoke last year during the few encounters. Like I was like, okay, this is a coach I want to play for, you know. Like I don't know him personally, but he looks like he can put you in the best position to win regardless. Like, so after, I think it was the BBL trophy, we knocked you guys out of the BBL trophy last year. We played at Brunel.
Yeah.
Yes, so we played at Brunel. After that, me and Drew had a quick chat, and I said, okay, one day I'll definitely play for you. Like, because Hemel gave us always hard time, Hemel and Solon, you know, those were the two teams. I was excited to play every single time. Like, I'm like, it's going to be a dogfight.
Well, one thing we like to talk about and ask about is the playoff semi-final last year, where Storm beat TVC, and it wasn't. I mean, we looked round and there was probably as many, if not more, Storm fans than TVC fans there. Did that have any influence on like Hemel looking like a good club to come and play for?
Oh, 100%. I thought as soon as the game started, I told Bob, I said, like, are we the home team? It feels like we're the away team. Like, that's how it felt on the court. Like, you guys were making more noise. The fans were incredible. I always knew you had a huge fan base, but that game was what showed me really what Hemel Storm fan base, like what people were saying about it. Because I would go play at you guys. I say, okay, they are home, huh? And then I would leave. So I don't see other games you guys are playing. But the semi-final last year was like, oh wow, this is something special. This is not something you see every day, like, you know. And everyone was happy. The joy on people's face when we got beaten. I'm still salty about it. But
It's always a close game, though. It's always a close game. Even this season, I mean, what must it have been like going back and playing against them this season? How was that for you?
Oh, it was emotional, to be honest, because that court, I know it perfectly. I've practiced there, played there, so it's like home for me. I'll always go there, do everything. So getting back there to play against them. When we played them at ours, I wanted to win, like win. But going there was an extra emotional tool to it. Like, yeah, there was an extra emotional. I was like, wow, I'm playing against these guys. Like, I've played here for 4 or 5 years. Like, how come now I'm playing against them? So it was really emotional for me. Like,
So a bit bittersweet, really.
Correct.
Yeah,
I had to put a poker face on, yeah.
It is weird, like as a Storm fan, watching Bode play for TVC, and Walid had a season there. Was at Storm, went to TVC for a year, came back for Storm. Watching those guys that have been at your club for so long playing a different shirt and that's exactly what the TVC fans probably think of you playing for Storm.
Absolutely.
What happened in that TVC game? Because we were winning comfortably at half time, then they got right back. That was probably one of the most tense games all season.
Absolutely. That and the Loughborough game, I think we just got complacent, you know. We were due one of those periods where, and they were extra motivated. They still, every time they're going to play us, you know, they would want to beat us because they would say, you took some of our players, you know. So we were up 20 at halftime, and then in the third quarter, we just didn't have a drive again, you know. We just were complacent, and I could feel it, you know. Took a miracle from Aaron, you know, and Taylor was in foul trouble as well. So, yeah, so that hurt us a little bit, but we grinded it out, which is one of the characters in this team, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's been a big takeaway for this season, I think, is just how you guys come together at the crucial moments. We've seen it at Loughborough. You've mentioned Solent recently as well. So yeah, it's been some grinding results, but they've been worth it in there.
Yeah, comparing it to one of the most talented team I've been on, the TVC Taylor's first year, because I had Taylor, Martel, it was me. We had incredible talent, but under pressure will always crumble. Like, that team was extremely talented, but with a little bit of pressure will implode. So that's the difference with this team, where regardless of how many adversity we face, I don't panic, because when I look around, everyone has a straight face. Everyone is cool, calm, collective. I'm like, wow. And that's something I don't think talent can bring that. That goes beyond everything. Like, you know, that's rare to find out in a professional sport, where it's like Real Madrid. I don't know if you guys watch football. In the Champions League, regardless, they could be down 3-0. Ancelotti, to everyone, is calm. You know they're going to come back. It feels like they're going to win it. Yeah, so that's the little bit of feeling I have this year with this team, yeah.
My son was saying actually today that Ancelotti only needs to raise his eyebrow.
That's it, and the chewing gum. That's it.
And then all of a sudden,
eyebrow and chewing gum. That is like Drew. That's it.
I was going to say, yeah. Was you just comparing Drew to Ancelotti? Then is that the?
Not yet. If we win it all, I will, but not yet.
Not yet.
I don't think the fans feel quite as calm and collected at times. Even the Westminster game a couple of weeks ago, all of us guys were there. That was a little bit squeaky bum time for some of that. You know, there has been some definitely raised blood pressure in the stands at times this season. But that's what watching sport's about, isn't it? You know.
Absolutely. You know, some of those scheduled games where I don't know what happened, you know, but like I said, during that game as well, I was still confident we were going to win. No, because of Westminster's level of play. Respect to them. They really, they brought their A game. But like, I was looking at my teammate, I was like, yes, we're going to win this. I don't know when, how, but we're still going to win this game. Yeah. The Loughborough one away was the one where, honestly, in all honesty, I was like, okay, I've given up. We've taken it now. The away one that went to overtime. I don't know if you guys
with the alley-oop at the last.
Yes.
That was crazy.
Yes. That was the one where I genuinely thought, okay, we had dropped one. But besides that game, majority of the one I've been confident, like the finals, the semi-finals, the Newcastle away, which are tough, Bradford away, like some games, Derby away. I was confident in all those games, but the Loughborough one at the end, I was like, oh, this could be the first one. Yeah.
You mentioned finals and how confident you were there, and obviously we spoke about atmosphere at TBC and stuff. How did you find the kicking final? Because from a stand point of view as fans, that sounded really loud. Did that kind of get onto the court? Did you hear it?
Some of my colleagues were there, actually. They told me they've never seen such a noise before. They were ecstatic. They were gone. They were like, they didn't know what to do because there was so much noise. And I remember talking to Taylor about this on the bus. I said, on the final, I wasn't hearing anything we were saying to each other. I could hear the fans behind the noise. I don't know what they're saying either. But I couldn't hear anything my teammates were telling me the whole game because it was so loud. Like, that's one of the best atmosphere, yeah, for sure. 100%.
Was it louder than the National Cup final in Manchester? Because obviously, as fans, you're a bit closer to the court at Surrey than you are in Manchester.
Yes, I think because the one in Surrey was a bit smaller. Maybe that was louder, yeah. Because the one in Manchester, you had a little bit more space now. But the Surrey one was definitely really loud. Like, it was extreme.
Yeah, we were right behind the bench, weren't we? So we were really, really close to you guys. So
yeah. So it was closer to the core. Like, the fans were closer to the core. So yeah.
Interesting. I was going to ask you a quick question about that ability to grind out games. I know that it feels like we've got a good squad depth and real good talent all the way through. Yeah. If I compare it to like Westminster, they had 3 guys on their bench when we played them. They're a good team, and I think they've been unlucky this season with close. But is that a coaching thing? Is that a kind of, does Drew and Michael bring that kind of ability to stay calm, or how does that...
100%. I have to give credit to the coaching staff for that, because anytime, anyone comes off the bench, the guys off the bench, if they go to any other team, they will be starters. Like, anyone can be a star. Like, you look at Romario, you look at Charles, you look at Theo, the captain, like Jack, all those guys, they go to any other team, they're starting. So credit to them for, everyone accepting their role. But you have to give credit where credit is due. So the coaching staff, I think they put the whole... we call it putting the glue together. Like, they put the glue and then everything just gelled, but it's like the coaching staff, they know what system to put, who to put. They play with matchups a little bit, which the fan don't see, but we do see, And some games, like, I will struggle, like Theo will step up, feeling in my shoe. So everyone can feel in each other's shoe. So that's like the depth, 100%. This is the best depth, I've had, for sure. Like, anyone that's on the court, I feel like we're not going to lose the lead. Yeah, and that's important in terms of resting players, yeah. And then sequences, giving different matchup, putting the opposition off, because they will come preparing a game plan for Aaron, for Taylor, for me. And then turns out the guy who's going to go off is Sam, or Seth, who is incredible as well.
Yeah,
he's unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking, what was the game? He went off in one of the games. I think we were watching it online. It's like 15 points. I think he hit his first 5.
Derby away. Derby away. He had he hit 4 quick threes, I think, in the first 5 minutes or 6 minutes.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, and we never looked back. It was Derby away. Yeah.
So it's hard to solve the problem of, closing down Storm, isn't it? With all the different options.
That's it. Yeah. So it's varied. Our game is very, very varied. Yeah. So it's hard to guard us. Yeah.
All
in all, it's been a tough start to your career at Storm, hasn't it? It's
I think, we were talking about this actually the other day. I thought we were going to be good, but not this good, in all honesty. Like, I did not think we were going to be this good where everyone just speaks this. We're on the same page from top to bottom. Everyone is on the same page. Yeah. So
it's a rare thing, isn't it, to get that?
Oh, it's very rare.
Yeah.
It's very rare. Yeah. Credit to management as well. JB, Tony, those guys as well, behind the scenes, working hard, putting us in situations where we can perform at our best, So we have no excuse, literally. You have the fans, you have the club supporting you, you have the coaching, you have the teammates. What else? So it's all, it's factual. It's not
Yeah.
by accident. It's not happening by accident. It's all hard work paying off, pretty much.
It does feel a real community vibe, doesn't it? A real like family community sort of thing at Hemel as well. I think it's it's a real great environment.
Yes, I think that's the part that surprised me the most. It feels not like I joined a club, but I joined a family. That's the difference between at TVC. I was with amazing people like that I could call, friends and everything. But here, you feel like you're part of something bigger, a family, yes. So like Kat, Carol, Brian, everyone, like you guys, it feels like everyone is just coming from one tree, which is something that, like, coming from a big family, like an African, we always value family. We have like that family value. We're not individualist, like we're always part of a community. So being at Hemel, that's why it was easy for me to fit in, because I felt like, okay, I'm part of this family. Right.
How do you after a game, how do you like the interactions with the fans, with the kids? It seems is like I've been to various different sports throughout my life, and some of them have moved away from caring about the fans quite so much, I think. But it seems like at Storm, like you guys get as much out of the interaction with the fans as the fans get out of talking to you guys.
Oh, 100%. Because the fans is like, you have 12 players, they're the 13th man, you know what I mean? So they're screaming, you don't know how that fuels us, that drives us. So the fan, even after the game, my adrenaline will still go up when I see a kid smiling, wanting to take a picture, like families coming, high-fiving you. That's priceless. That's something you cannot put a price on, It makes me happy to see those kids happy, like. And there it's exciting, even though they don't know what's happening, just you being there makes them happy. So yeah, it's definitely a good feeling. Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, I think I like obviously from Theo's perspective, he likes meeting you all. But I have heard a little story that it's not just the fans coming to speak to you after the game that makes you happy. I've heard Tony putting his hands in his pocket and buying you an Nando's is also something that you
Oh yeah, we do a little. We had Nando's Wednesday. It was Friday, yeah. So before Newcastle, so we had like a team dinner group as well. So that was fun. Like we did activities outside of basketball, team bonding. Like it shows like the team is bonding. Everyone is getting along. So generally, it's been good. It's been good vibe. Because there is on some teams where you have this much talent, ego can take off. Like, yeah, I can say, why am I not getting it? We're all competitive. Like, I get competitive with Taylor, I get competitive with Aaron. I practice during games, that's normal. If that wasn't happening, why would we be here? I want to be the best. You want to be the best. But we manage our ego. Like everyone manages their ego, which makes it easier to work with the team. Like the ego, we put that aside. We say, okay, we have a bigger fish to fry than, showing people who's the best. Yeah.
It must be quite nice doing stuff outside of training together as well, because like I say, it's brought you all closer.
Yeah, absolutely. And you get to know the other guys as well a little bit more, background, discussion, what they like doing, what type of music they're into, their hobbies. So during practice, we just come in locked in. Everyone is locked in. You don't have time to chit chat that much. But outside on the bus ride, that's where, you create that chemistry.
That's nice. And you get that sense of a lack of egos when there's a lot of rotation and people are coming off and on the bench. Like we often look at and see the guys on the bench are just as excited as the fans are, jumping up and down and excited about what's going on the court, and very supportive.
That's absolutely true. If anyone scores, we all cheering for that person. If anyone is hot, we all cheering. Yeah, and the fans are behind us as well. Like I can see the fans shouting at refs when they do a bad call. Yeah,
or any call.
That's normally Rob.
I can't pass comment sitting on the front row.
Rob, is that you? Yeah.
And one of my daughters likes to do it as well.
Oh my God! Sometimes I do feel bad for the ref. I see you guys going boo, they're booing ref. Unlike they're having enough with us on the court now, of course, as well.
Yeah, they've got Rob booing him on one side and you swearing at them in a different language on the other side.
I'm getting caught on that as well. Oh my god. But
So
yeah.
You mentioned Mr. Three-Pointer earlier, so like Jack as well. So he obviously, I think he also wanted a bit of credit for getting you to come and join the team. I know he was in touch with you a little bit as well.
Yes. Jack, unbelievable guy also, of course.
Yeah, great guy.
You can't take him seriously, but he has that little charm where it's easy to get along with him. Like, and I like to work with people that are genuine with themselves. You know what I mean? Like Jack is one of those authentic guys. You know, they will tell you how it is, what it is. If you come, this is what you're gonna get. But we don't have this as well. So that honesty plays, you know. Because like when I was getting recruited by a lot of BBL teams, like I just wasn't feeling what they were saying is going to be true. So I don't know. I've never been in it, but if I don't feel there is a sense of honesty a little bit, tell me straight to my face. You're not going to get this, or you're not going to play this much, or you're not going to. But somewhere promising me things when I looked at the structure, I'm like, no, that's not. And I'm a realistic person. I say, that's not realistic, you know. What you're saying and what the reality is, I just don't believe it. Yeah. But yeah, there's been few interest in the BBL as well, but some was the reason. Yeah, Jack and I, we had a good chat. You know, he told me what was good, what was bad, like the good, the bad, the ugly. He gave me everything. So yeah, super cool guy as well.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
He's a really good guy. His dad, on the other hand, not a good guy. He scares me.
I have seen John get ejected from the arena on numerous occasions each season I've been going, I think.
Really?
I feel like John is ready to blow at any time. He can pop off at any time. JV.
Yeah, I think it was the semi-final. We spoke about it briefly earlier. The semi-final last season when we played you when you was at TBC. Really? I think he was told to calm down a little bit in that game because he was getting a bit happy.
Got a very short temper, yeah. But I did chat to him also in the preseason. So he's one of the guys as well that helped me get over the line, get the deal over the line. So yeah, they were very understanding of the situation. So yeah, overall, I could not ask for a better landing spot. I don't think I could ask for more. Seriously, that's in all honesty, yeah.
So you talked about, Hakeem, how you didn't think this season was going to be as good as it has been so far. When you guys kind of came together as a squad at sort of end of August, beginning of September, what were your kind of expectations for the season?
So my expectation was, because obviously Worthing, the guys are Worthing, like I did speak to a lot of them, you know, so I thought like Worthing was going to be tough. Derby always tough. So I looked at our team. So I didn't know Seth. I knew Taylor was the only guy. And Sam, I knew, yes, okay, I could go to war with these guys. Like we have a good team, you know. But Aaron, I wasn't too familiar with his game. So Jack, you know, Charles, I was familiar with. But I was like, okay, we have a lot of question marks because it's the first season. Usually it takes us time to get together, get to know each other, you know who's good at what. But we played Surrey in a closed-door preseason game. I don't know if you guys... So Surrey, the BBL team. And we were close. Yeah. We didn't have Seth there. Yeah, we didn't have Seth there. And it was a close game. Like, so once we played that, I'm like, oh, we have something here. If this team clicks together, we have something here. And then obviously we started the preseason, the practice level. So few practicing, I was like, okay, cool. We can do something special. Like after the Kid King, the group stage, I was like, yeah. So I thought we were going to be top 2 team in the league, but this good up until where we are now, where we win every game convincingly. Like I did not see that coming, in all honesty. Maybe some of the guys did, but I did not. Yeah. So around December, I was like, yeah, we're the team to beat for sure.
Was that after the Worthing game when we beat them at their,
Yes, when we beat them at their place with everyone chipping in. Charles had that block there.
We watched that block time and time again.
Yeah, for sure. So after that, I thought like, okay, cool. We got this. Since then, we've never looked back.
It's good that you referenced that Charles block, because we put it in one of our most memorable moments of the season from a fan's perspective. But it sounds like being on the court to see that also.
I was there. I was there live. The chase down, the block, everything without fouling. I was just behind him. I was like, yeah. So this is what you get from guys, you know, that are coming off the bench. They're as locked in as we are, you know, starting. So yeah.
And like you said, lots of them could walk into the starting five in other teams. Like Teo was in our starting five for a few years, you know, and Charles, like when he comes off the bench, he does stuff like that. And you're like, you could probably play for anyone else, Charles, and get like start every week sort of thing.
Absolutely. Jack, all those guys, you know, everyone is interchangeable. Like genuinely, they can play with any lineup they want. You'll still see the same result. Besides our two specimen, Taylor and Aaron, of course, but all the rest, you know, we are very interchangeable, honestly. And there's no ego with that. Like Romario, he's had games where, you know, he will come in. He can score 15 points in 5 minutes or 4 minutes. He's the one who can score quickly than anyone I've seen, the quickest way. Yeah, so I love playing with him, but he sleeps a lot. That's his only. As soon as he gets on the bus, he starts sleeping.
That's interesting. And I know you mentioned Sam very briefly. I think the new team structure seems to have just unlocked like Sam's like assist.
Is the heart. I would say he's the heart. I would describe him as the heart of the team. Yeah, he does everything that we don't do. He does everything. He sees everything before everyone else. He does a lot of things that people don't. We cannot put in the stats, you know.
Yeah. Game intelligence, right? I think it's like that.
Exactly. We see the assist and all that, but the intangibles that he has, like he puts me in the best condition. He knows when to put Taylor. He knows when to go to Aaron. He knows when to go to Jack. Like his game, his basketball IQ is out of this world. Yeah.
One of the things we like about Sam sitting in, other than like these fancy assists and the alley-oop with Aaron and yourself at times, is he's so passionate. And if we're sitting there a bit like nervous or getting a bit annoyed with how the game's going in the stands, you can see Sam's getting annoyed on the court as well, and you kind of like the way that translates down into the team, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's why I said, you know, we have like amazing players, but we'll go as far as Sam goes. If he's in it, it's going to be a long night for the opposition because he can do it all. He can shoot, he can pass, he can dribble, he can set up plays, he can. So yeah,
he can nutmeg.
He can turn the ball over with behind the back passes. So
yeah,
if he's locked in, if Sam is locked in, yeah, it's like I know we're gonna have a good day. It's an easy game, like yeah. So Sam, he makes the game way easier for us. You know, yeah. Start don't tell it all with him, yeah.
And how is it with the there's some younger players in the squad as well? You guys are kind of bringing guys like Nick and Cavell through.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like Nick and Cavell also, you know, they're there to chip in whenever they need it. You know, at practice we go hard. It will be competitive. Sometimes practice is harder than games because we go so hard at each other. Like Nick and Cavell, everyone is aggressive. So like practice is structured in a way. So those guys, we need them. And then sometimes, you know, closing games, they come around, do their thing as well. So from 1 to 12, everyone is credited as well for the run we've had so far, you know. Yeah, start don't tell it all, but they're really, really good guys. Well, it's hard to get 2 words out of him, but yeah, he's a little guy who has a bright future. Like he has a bright future.
Yeah, you see that when he comes on. He doesn't seem to talk much, but you can tell he can play.
Oh, he's not scared of anything or anyone. That's hard to find. Like he's not scared at all. He will take the biggest shot. Like he will drive, like make a layup. Like you would jump 3 of you to block him. Like he's fearless. Yeah.
We also had one of our memorable moments, didn't we? Is I can't remember which game it was at home a few weeks back when he came on and got 2 3-pointers late on in the game, and the crowd stood up and cheered like
Absolutely.
To show him how respectful they were of this young lad who comes in, and like you said, he doesn't shy off any competing or anything. He's not scared of taking them 3-pointers, even if he's missed one or whatever. And you can definitely see he's got a bright future. and hopefully he spends a few years at Storm in that time as well.
Yeah. He's a diamond in the rough. Absolutely, he's a gem. You need to keep him as much as you can. He can be the cornerstone of the next generation. But he's really good. Yeah, Hemel is one I rate a lot.
So as you mentioned, the Charles rejection at Worthing.
Yeah.
What other kind of memorable moments have you had this season?
The alley-oop from Aaron at Loughborough, amazing one. Taylor shushing the crowd in the Kid King trophy final.
That was like the whole game. What was
the whole game? So
what was that about?
I will never get over that. Seth hitting 5 quick threes at Derby. Those are so yeah. I will never forget, the crowd, the cup final in Manchester, the picture with the crowd. That gives me goosebumps until now. Do you remember the one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I think the one all orange behind us.
Yeah.
Orange, yes. That picture really gives me goosebumps, like with everyone in, staff, fans, players, like everyone. So that's one of my favorite moments, easily.
There was one like that taken at TVC after the semi-final last year, but obviously you weren't in it.
Oh my God. By the way, if I was fasting when that semi-final happened. So that was a little bit luck to you guys. Like, but you guys had us that game. I still rewatched it. Greg was good. Taylor, of course, was good. Brody, everyone played well that game. You came prepared. I think we split the season, right? 2-2 or something. I don't know. Yeah. But that one hurt more than all the rest. Yeah, because we wanted to play Solent in the final, and we were confident we were going to beat Solent in the final. So
we were close. We could have won that.
100%. I watched it. I was cheering for Hemel like from far away. When I don't know if Taylor or Greg who turned that ball over on the last possession. I was so angry. I was like, no, please, no. Yeah, I watched that final, like the whole game from home. I was cheering.
We were also gutted that Taylor didn't get MVP, and it's obviously because he wasn't on the winning side. So it's so good to have seen him get the 2 MVPs in the 2 finals this year.
Yeah, 100%. He can anytime he wants, he can be MVP. Yeah. This year is gonna be tough between him and Aaron. Like I think they should do like a co-MVP thing or something. But yeah, them two, I think they're running away with it. It would depends which player coaches prefer. Even though Aaron's stats are crazy, like he does it all. Like he passes the ball, he plays defense. Taylor is a machine, but depends on your preference. Who do you prefer? But,
the fans vote for their player of the year as well, Hakeem. So if you start shooting from the halfway line and sinking it in the next few games, then I think you'll be in the running.
That would be, as long as the fans like me, I think that would make me happy.
I think as a fan, it's a real. There's normally been like 1 or 2 fairly obvious choices each year. Like one year, it was when we got to the National Cup final, won the National Cup in 2018, and got to the playoff final that year. The fans award was shared between AJ Roberts and Wayne Yeboah.
Do you know you played us that season? You played TVC that season.
Yeah.
And you won on the buzzer beater. You guys were in D1. We were in D2. You won on the buzzer beater. We played you guys up until the last possession. The game was tied. And then the guy just threw, I think the guy who won MVP with AJ, so just threw it on the backboard as a Hail Mary, and then he went in. Another heartbreaker. Yeah. Yeah, go rewatch the game. Mikey does remember because we talk about that game all the time. Like, at the time, Hemel was undefeated. You were having like a great beginning of the season.
Yeah.
You played us, I think it was the quarterfinal or the semifinals, and then you went on to win it, the National Cup or something. Yeah, I think it was the National Cup.
Yeah, so
there's always been some good battles between TVC and Hemel over the years, hasn't there?
Yeah.
That's no wonder they hate each other.
How do you? I know we're talking ifs, buts, and babies here, and obviously your last game for TVC was against us in the playoff semi-final. Looking at the league table today, there's a possibility the semi-final this year could be Storm and TVC, providing everyone gets there. How would that feel for you lining up a year later on the other side?
Yeah, I think I won that. I think that's going to be a really good game. That's going to be a really, really, really good game because I think they got better since the last time we played them. They've been on a run since they lost to us. They haven't lost to anyone. And also the thing is, we got better. Now I feel more confident than when I played them. So I think it's going to be a good battle. But internally speaking with other players, this is the first time where I haven't seen anyone check in the standings and say, oh, we prefer playing this, we prefer playing this. And then me and Tony were discussing the other day, we're doing this like in a humble way, which is rare. Like nobody's bragging, even the guys supporting the clubs on social media, all you're doing is promoting players. Like you could be bragging about undefeated season, with this, by this margin, we have the best offense, we have the best defense, blah, blah, blah. But doing it in a humble way makes it even special. How to hate us, pretty much. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But if you're winning, it's easy to hate you when you're winning.
Yeah.
Or like, some people are rooting for you that I don't even know that would message me, oh, you guys are doing well. I'm like, what? Yeah. So doing it in a humble way. And that shows like the image of the club as well, representing the club in a good way, like portraying that image. Just fun, family, good time. Yeah, enjoy.
We try and engage with some of the other fans and also some of the opposition players, and we're always after games, always like, well played to them and all that sort of stuff. It's always,
I always, even though Kat was the one shouting at me every time, I remember her vividly. Like sometimes they'll say she hated me more than anyone. Like, but now we're besties. We're besties now. We've put that behind us. But yeah, I'm always like, coaches will come and say, well played, even though. So that fair play thing is super important. Like, doing it in a way.
It's always good to be on the right side of Kat as well.
Absolutely. You don't want to be on the wrong side.
Kat is also one of the few people that listens to the podcast, Hakeem. So she'll hear that anyway.
Oh, really? I think so. I'm okay with Kat hearing it, but not mine. Yeah. But she's another one. She's Wonder Woman. Like, she makes everything happen, So I can go on listing, what people are doing, but Kat is one of the people that has impacted me, the most. She listens, whatever you ask, she doesn't say no. So it's really a good situation to be in.
Nice.
We've got a home double header coming up at the weekend. Then what tough games. Solent have didn't start off too well, and a much better side now they seem to be. And obviously Worthing are always a tough game. Do you think we can end like the proper league season unbeaten?
Oh yeah, like even besides the unbeaten record, you want to go in the playoffs with a good momentum. You don't want to go with a loss. So regardless, we of course, as a competitor, we want to go down in history as an unbeaten team, blah, 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 blah. But the week after, we have a first round, and it's like one game. You can be bounced, have a great regular season, win all those cups, and then bounce in the first. So if we go with the momentum, we get 2 good wins, we're going to be focused. Tomorrow practice is going to be crazy as usual. So we're not taking those 2 games lightly. Like, we don't want to rest anyone. No one wants to rest. Like, we're all locked in to get 2 wins. And it's a psychological advantage against teams you might play later down the line.
Yeah.
So there is a lot at stake. Like, even not only the unbeaten run, we want that, of course, but we want to get into the playoff with a momentum, saying, okay, we feel confident. We've beaten 2 good teams over the weekend. That sets us up for a good first round. Yeah.
And knowing that the first round and all of the games apart from the final are going to be at home as well, must be a nice feeling to know that's there.
That's a massive advantage, like home court advantage. It's an intangible that you cannot describe, but when you play at home with you guys, the fans, it's different. It gives us an extra boost. So knowing that we're going to play the 2 games at home and then possibly the final away, so that's a massive advantage, relief. Like, you cannot underestimate that. Everyone will love to play at home, Yeah.
I know you said that we're not bragging and we're quite humble about it. Or is there a particular side you would like to play in the playoff final if we can get there?
Yeah, Worthing. Why not Worthing? I think that would be a good final. I want like we want to be the best team. Like to be like, you know what I mean? We want to be the best of the best. I don't know if they're the best because Derby is tough. Like,
Yeah.
either side, yeah, we want to be. Ranking does make we can all play TGC, so I don't think they'll get higher until, you know, but who knows, you know, because they will be on our side of the bracket. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, Derby or Worthing, I'll be happy to play those two again. Like, yeah, because they bring the best out of us. Every team does, respectful to all the other teams. But yeah, we want a good final, not an easy, like someone who's going to challenge. Because I'm really confident in my team, not cocky or anything, but like I trust my team, the coaching staff. We have something special. Yeah.
They've been great games against those guys as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
The games against, you know, the Worthing away game was superb, obviously, but the final as well, you know.
The final, yeah. So we're looking forward to the Saturday game. We're going into that game thinking, yeah, we have to beat these guys. We're not, we're not taking that game because we speak between us, like we speak among the players. We want that so bad, like it's like another final for us. Yeah, like another final. And Solent, who knows? We might play them in the next round. Beating them on Saturday, it's a psychological advantage for us. They're like, okay, we cannot beat these guys.
They tried to bring a bit of a physical game, didn't they, last time you played them as well? And you know, that's
the only way you can beat us. It's just to be physical, like because if you go,
Madison got physical with some barriers last time we played them, didn't he?
Yeah, he was frustrated.
Teo was in the middle of a scuffle in that game as well.
Yep. I think they threw my captain on the floor, but yeah, Teo was there. Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. This is one of the most important week. That's why we treat it as because it sets the momentum for next week. Yeah.
So lots of rest, get your preparation right.
Oh, absolutely. We're not going to do anything different. Like all the week preparation, the scouting, everything is going to be on point, and then we're going to. But the fact that it's at home makes it a lot even funner. Like we're going to celebrate in front of the fans. You know, we could do it last week, winning the league. Huh? But like,
I'm going to miss it. I'm away this weekend, so I'm going to miss the last two.
Oh my God!
Every game. Wow. But I'll be there for the playoffs. So
you'll be there for the playoffs.
Yeah. But talking about preparation, Hakeem, do you have any like pre-match rituals to kind of prepare for a game?
Yeah, so it depends what time. For instance, like I like a nice breakfast, but like like at home, I like a nice breakfast, you know, heavy eggs, omelette, you know, anything that is egg-based. I like on the road it's difficult to have like a good meal, but at home I would have like a nice meal before, like 2 or 3 hours before the game, and then rest. I usually pray, before I go to games. That's something I do. I'll pray just like to get my mind and my body on the same page. Yeah. So I will pray. And even before games, I like a good banana before a game, some Red Bull. I'm sure you guys see me drinking that. Yeah. So, but like everyone has their little ritual, like you said, pre-game. But yeah, I like to pray a little bit before to calm myself down, you know, get my mind in the space. And then, that's
it. So you get focused in, and then the headphones come on.
I was just about to say that, yeah.
Comes on. Is that
there you go. So I listen to a lot of, Wu-Tang, 90s, early 2000 hip-hop. Yeah, that's the sweet spot. Yeah. 90s, early 2000. I listen to that a lot as a warm-up, And then I mean,
I was gonna say, is that the playlist when you're warming up on the court?
Yeah. That's the playlist. But the reps, they always get me at the 20-minute mark. Get your headphones away.
Oh, is that a thing? Is that how long you can only have them in for a certain amount of time?
Until 20 minutes from tip off. After 20 minutes to tip, you have to take it off. That's the rule in the UK. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's every day's a school day. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Who else is on your playlist other than Wu-Tang?
So I listen to Nas. I don't know if you guys know Nas, Rakim. I listen to Big L. I listen to Notorious, B.I.G., Cool G rap, Mobb Deep. So a lot of underground rap. Yeah. I listen.
That's Effects.
That's Effects. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know your rap, yeah.
I think I mentioned to you, My son's 11. He's getting the hip hop education at the moment.
My God!
We started with a good base of Rob Bass, DJ Easy Rock. Yeah. So he's getting the KRS-One, Boogie Down Productions.
KRS-One. Those are
all of that. So yeah. We started with a little reggae as well now. So it started with a bit of general Levy.
I do listen to reggae in a calm era, like when I'm calm, when I'm relaxed, I do like a nice R&B, like 90s R&B is good.
Post game though, right? Post game.
Yes. Not before. Definitely not before.
Obviously, listen to your music style there and what stuff you listen to, then listening to what everyone was listening to, the coach on the way home from Newcastle. Is there a battle to who gets the playlist and what genre you listen to in the changing room?
Yes, mine is all the way on the other side of the spectrum of what they are listening to. Yes, yeah. But I do like some pop music. Like once in a while I will listen just for the vibe, like on the bus. But by myself, if it's motivation to get myself into the game, I always go rap music, like rap motivation music, some Eminem, I will put Guinea, like it depends, Even UK rap, I would listen to a little bit of UK rap once in a while. But
And we always thought the players were listening to the latest podcast when they were warming up. They told us that.
That would be distracting. That would be very distracting. Because I would be that would be very distracting. But where can we find like the other podcasts though? Like
they're on Spotify and YouTube. We can send you the links. The links normally go up on our own personal like Facebook and Instagram, but also the Let's Go Storm Instagram and Facebook pages.
Okay.
So there's normally a Spotify link and a YouTube link.
Perfect.
We just need to tell the fans we didn't set Hakeem up for that either. That was a genuine question.
Come and join the 7 or 8 people that are listening to the podcast.
But it's really fun though. You guys podcast. Honestly,
it's just a fun thing.
It's a fun thing. I cannot believe I haven't done this earlier. Finding the time and everything. That's really discussing with you.
It's good timing though, right? It's good. The timing is the right time.
It
one
is.
of the questions.
I have to ask one question though, if I may allow. I need to hear from you guys' lenses, your perspective. How are you guys finding this season overall? Like, what are your thoughts? Because I can see the joy, but what's inside deep? Like,
my personal opinion is you can do better, Hakeem.
Going back to TVC.
I've been going to Storm for I think about 7 years now, and kind of the best season in terms of where we've got to is the 2017-28 season where we won the National Cup and we lost to Worthing in the playoff final that year. Michael Darlow would tell you that he was the highest point scorer on the Storm side in that playoff final, which is why we didn't win.
Oh my God! No wonder we didn't win.
and there was the COVID year where all the games were obviously kind of behind closed doors, where we got to the playoff final, and then last year was another really good year. We lost to Solent 2 years running in the playoff final. So we always had like peaks and troughs throughout the years. You know, we've had some really good wins and some games where we've maybe lost that we weren't expecting to lose and stuff. So this is just a different level. We were sitting there last summer, us guys and some of the others going, oh, Taylor might leave, Greg might leave, you know, and obviously Greg left. And then we're like, that's quite a big gap to fill. And then they announced you were joining. We were like, right, that's that gap filled. And then we'd seen Seth play in the USA Select team against us the year before, and from that one game we knew he was a good shooter. Like yourself, we didn't know much about Aaron. We all went and watched some YouTube videos and got quite excited. But it's the progression of the club in the time I've been watching it as well. You know, the same people are involved. So like Jack's been there the whole time I've been watching. Obviously Mike's on the staff now, but it's just a different level. And as fans, we've said numerous times this season, like we need to make sure we enjoy this because you don't get many like this. And I guess that's what you guys are saying. And it's unbelievable to sit here. Hopefully 5 games left. We've got 3 trophies in the bag. it's one of those seasons, and it's like you were saying, like Arian Taylor, they might get Player of the Year, but everyone in the starting 5 plus on the bench, each of them have a deserved place in what we've done. So Player of the Year could easily go to any of you starting 5 from the fans' perspective, because we all see different things. We were talking on our last podcast how it was a travesty that Seth hasn't been in the team of the week on NBL England yet. It's just one of those seasons that doesn't happen very often. You've got to make the most of it as a fan, and where we haven't been able to travel to the away games, we've watched as much as we can on YouTube because we haven't wanted to miss it and stuff. So it's unbelievable, really. A testament to you guys and Drew and Mike and Tom as well. That it has been this good.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing to hear that, because you never know exactly what the fans from their lenses, we just see you guys, but what are you feeling? What are your assessment? Like what are your analytics and stuff like that? So to hear that, it feels really good.
And
Rob comes from like he's been going to Storm for quite some time. So Mike and I are a bit newer, so only started coming last season. So I thought this was just normal, right? I thought this was just.
No, it's not. I can tell you that.
Not really. No, but I mean, as a Spurs fan as well, I'm not really sure what to do with winning. It's quite a new thing. But
One's club to support.
No, but the thing that I did genuinely love about the club when I first started coming, which was with my son through the Russell Hoops and Jack's kind of like academy thing. He started playing first, and then we decided to come and watch some games. Is that that community feel, that family feel of the club has just been like, just the reason to want to come back. And I think that because we get that back from the players and from everyone involved in running it and through the fans as well. It's just lovely to be there. In all honesty, regardless of the results is the icing on the cake, and it's great to see the team doing brilliantly. It's inspirational for the kids, but I think even if it wasn't quite going so well with that same vibe, I think it's still just brilliant being there.
Oh wow, yeah, amazing stuff. That's good.
I also like my oldest daughter will watch football and rugby with me, but my youngest only likes going to Storm. That's all she wants to do. So that's the sport we do because all 3 of us can go together. And to the point where last summer she said to me, "Dad, do you think I could be a volunteer at Storm?" And so both of my daughters now sell the raffle tickets. Yes, Mike, I'm dropping the raffle tickets back in on a match night. And for a 15, 16-year-old girl who's normally stuck on YouTube and grunts at you rather than talks to you, to actually come and say, "Can I be a part of this somehow as well?" Not just as a fan, is massive to me, and that's something that keeps us coming back as well. Is that when your kids want to do it, it's really important.
Absolutely. Wow, that's amazing. Stuff like that, we don't hear that. You don't see that as a player. Yeah. So we just come in. That's what I'm asking. I said, like, where's that coming from? Wow.
Yeah. It's been a great season to be. It's been a great season to be part of. I think for me, obviously, Theo's only 6.
My favorite fan of all is by far, easily.
He loves it, yeah, and I think he's never ever shown an interest in football. But whenever I was watching NBA, he would always just kind of pay attention. So we took him to the first game, I think the first home game last season. Then he's just been obsessed ever since. Wow. And again, I think for me, just to see how you guys brought him to the back of the bus to celebrate on Saturday just shows to me what the season's all about. Like I say, it's the winning's there, like Rich said, but to see how everyone is around the fans and what you guys are like off court it makes the season so much better.
Absolutely. Wow, that's amazing. Hopefully we can finish on a good note. That's the objective. We'll finish it off.
Yeah. How many Budweisers did Theo drink the other day then, Mike?
I think, well, Laura's only in the front room, so I can't comment. No comment. But yeah, he was he enjoyed himself, and he's still talking about it. So it was it was a good moment.
Amazing.
He just needs to be a little bit taller, and then maybe he can play one day. He's quite small for a 6-year-old.
It will be amazing.
If he plays with Hakeem can like pick him up and help him dunk it. So it might work.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping last game of the season Hakeem might pick Seth up and let Seth do a dunk at some point.
He will. I will push Seth to dunk. He has to make one before the season ends.
Imagine if it was in the playoff final and it was like the winning points or something, and Seth
I
just
think we're gonna stop the game.
I think there was that. I can't remember. I think it might have been Sam, but again, it just shows like the camaraderie between you. Like, I think the game where the London Sharks broke the hoop, and there's a picture of Seth holding it. I think Sam commented saying, "What's it like touching a rim for the first time?" And it's just like, yeah, just the moments. But yeah, we'll have to get Seth up there somehow.
Oh my god, they're hilarious. Those guys are so funny.
One of the away from Storm a little bit now, Hakeem, but one of the questions we've asked every guest that's been on is, do you have a favorite basketball movie?
Yes. It's tough between Coach Carter and Space Jam. Yeah, those are the two. Yeah, those are my go-to.
Good choices. Nearly all of your other players or coaches have said Coach Carter as well. So
really?
I'd not seen it for years, and because everyone kept talking about it on the podcast, I went and watched it again a couple of months ago, and it is one of the best ones, definitely.
Absolutely. He got good as well. I don't know if you guys have watched He Got Game with Denzel Washington and Ray Allen.
Oh
Yeah.
That's up there as well. Yeah.
See, Coach Carter used to be my favorite, but I watched Hustle again the other day, the new one with Adam Sandler, and that is a great film.
Yes, that's really good.
Great film.
That's really good. And the guy, is he Juancho Hernan Gomez who's in it, or his brother? Yeah,
he plays in the NBA, doesn't he?
Yeah, he plays in the NBA. Yeah,
there's a load of NBA players in it, isn't there? There's quite a lot of them that feature in it.
It's
up there. Yeah.
It's also noticeable that there's a few more basketball films starting to come out again now as well. Like, it's got more popular. There's that Woody Harrelson one coming out in a few weeks, Champions.
Champions.
That's already out now. Yeah.
I saw they've done a remake of White Men Can't Jump, but I think that might have been a straight to like Paramount or something, type thing.
Yeah. White Men Can't Jump is also up there for sure.
Yeah,
it's a funny film, that is. Yeah, I like that.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
That's a classic. But yeah, there's so many you can watch though. But there was, Space Jam. That's my childhood. Like, I grew up.
I was gonna say, I'm assuming you mean Space Jam 1, not the new one.
No, not the new one. I didn't even watch the new one, so that I don't ruin the first one.
Yeah. You don't want to.
I don't want that. Yeah. So Space Jam for sure. Yeah, but those are good basketball movies. Yeah.
There's a film coming out in a couple of weeks, isn't there? Air. That's about like the Nike trainer.
I did see that as well. Yeah.
That actually looks great. Look, it's good. It's got a good cast. I think Fraz is going to be in the cinema for about a week watching that on repeat. Right? He's our sneaker guy.
I was going to say, speaking about Air
and this, Hakeem.
Pardon?
Fraz must have spoken to you about sneakers.
Oh, he loves it. I thought I love sneakers, but Fraz he's a connoisseur. He likes sneakers. Yeah, he likes sneakers. But yeah,
I don't think we'd be doing Fraz justice if we didn't ask the question. Then, Hakeem, what is your favorite go-to pair of sneakers for game time?
Oh, that's a tough question. I get asked a lot because I like the Jordan 14, the desert one.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Air Jordan 8, the black and red version of the 8. I like, and then the Nike Foamposite as well. I like, but those are like the 3 sneakers I could wear all day long any year. Yeah, those are my go-to sneakers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do love sneakers. I collect them.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, but with the new situation, you can't be spending more money on you can't be spending money on sneakers anymore. But yeah,
there's something your son can inherit, right? So
it's
an investment. It's an investment, surely.
I don't know if he will be size 14 UK, but
yeah. That's it. Well, that's a shoe size, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that why you collect them? Because that size is normally in the sale.
No, I collect them not to resell it. I just keep them actually. Yeah, I don't do business with it, but yeah, I just love sneakers. That's something I invest a lot in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard for us to have a follow-up question. We need Fraz really on the line, but
I say sneakers.
This section would normally take about 45 minutes, Hakeem, right? So while we go make a cup of tea and all that sort of stuff.
Appreciate it, guys. Though. I appreciate the time and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. And a couple more questions, I think, if that's all right. Do you follow an NBA team?
Yes. So I follow the San Antonio Spurs.
Okay.
So spending time with like the Francophone and stuff because they had Boris Joe, Tony Parker.
Tony Parker, yeah. His documentary was out a little while ago. Did you?
Yes.
That was great.
Yeah, it was really nice. So he now owns a team. He's a majority owner of Asvel, a club in France. So he owns that team. But yeah, so Spurs, like the basketball they played, ball movement and all that. Yeah, so I've always.
Well, they've got Jeremy playing for them this season, haven't they? So they drafted him in the summer. He's made some interesting start to his career there.
If they get Wembanyama next year as well, so with Jeremy.
That'd be, yeah.
I played Solon my first year, I think. He was at Solon. So
he
4
was
5 years ago, he was on the bench at Solon. Yeah, apparently we played him. One of my friends told me that I forgot totally. And I was like, is that kid in the NBA now? Wow, what are we doing?
Yeah, I was looking for when I was looking at some stats and some of the things you've done since you've been in the NBL, and that popped up. I shared that in our group. I saw he played 9 games that season. And obviously he must have played against you in one of those 9 as well.
We did play, but I totally forgot. I had to be reminded myself because because he was on the bench. He wasn't like, someone we were scouting and saying, okay, you need to be careful. So, and then I was told when he got drafted, because I was following him like in NCAA. I was following him, but I didn't know he was the guy from Solon. So, and then afterwards I got told, but I did follow the San Antonio Spurs and stuff. Yeah, that's my club.
And how about basketball heroes? What about players?
So that's one of actually your question. Number one, so my favorite player all time that I always watch up until today is Tracy McGrady, who played for Orlando and the Houston Rockets, if you remember. Yeah. So he wore the number 1. So his game used to be for me,
Is that why you wear the number 1?
Yes, because of him, I wear the number 1. Yeah. So I thought he was better than Kobe, Tim Duncan, Dirk Nowitzki, KG in his era, Vince Carter. I thought he was better than all those guys. But he was injured a lot, so his career didn't, But T-Mac was like one guy I was always watching. Yeah.
Is that someone you've maybe modeled your game on, do you think, then, potentially, or tried to learn off?
I tried to, but he was really good. Yeah. Now I try to play a little bit like Siakam, Giannis, a little bit, those lengthy guys, that are crafty. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. I try to watch those guys play. Yeah. But T-Mac was the guy where I looked at. I'm like, he's amazing.
Awesome. And so life's quite interesting outside, I guess, of basketball with work and your son just being born. And
yeah. So work has always been work, like being in finance, I've got projects where I work like in energy, anything that has to do with energy, and one of my objectives is to electrify. So back home I've seen like kids struggle, like kids trying to do their homework at night, but there is no light, they have to do it with lamps and stuff like that. So that's one of the reasons I got to energy trading, so that, I try to bring investors, so they invest in energy projects in Africa, hydro, solar, so to electrify the continent a little bit. So that's something that's dear to me, and there's money in it. So it's a win-win.
Well, that's how you're going to get those guys, right? That's what they need, right? Yeah.
There you go. So so that's work. It can be a little bit hectic at times, but I really enjoy it. Yeah. Like doing something back for the continent, because that will be always home for me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You mentioned
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
On the birth of your son as well. I know that's a big deal. How's life at home? All okay?
All okay. Sleepless nights, crying and all that stuff. Yeah.
You're talking to friends here. We've all been there. So
you've all been. Honestly, I don't need to say much because you've all been there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've all been there. But yeah, it's amazing. It's a different feeling, different environment. Like, you grow up. Like, it's the best thing that's happened. Yeah.
Yeah, I did hear you're enjoying fatherhood and you're handling the sick moments quite well as another thing
That's
I've
the
heard.
part I don't enjoy. Changing diapers, the throwing up. It drives me crazy. Yeah. But other than that, everything outside of basketball, thank God, I'm really grateful to God. Like everything is going well. Can't complain.
Good. That's good to hear.
Awesome. Well, look, I think that's everything from us, Hakeem. Just thanks so much for your time. I know we've taken, I think, 90 minutes or so of your time. So
That's all right. It was a pleasure.
Thanks so much. Keep doing what you're doing for the rest of the season and beyond. And yeah, awesome. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you for having me as well. It's been a pleasure, discussing basketball, how it all started with you guys. Hopefully the fan will enjoy it as much as we did here today.
I'm sure
it was a pleasure having you on, Hakeem, and good luck for the next 5 games. There has to be 5 games.
Absolutely. 5 games.
Next five, absolutely.
All right, guys.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, Hakeem. Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Take care.
Bye.